Okay, in this presentation, we're going to look at this complex numbers tutorial question. So essentially what we have to do is express this expression here in standard Cartesian form, a plus ib. So the numerator and the denominator are both multiples of products of two very straightforward terms. So essentially what we're going to do here is multiply out the numerator and then the denominator, and then we'll work from there. So let's start off. The numerator is 1 plus 4i times 2 minus 3i. Okay. And essentially what we're going to do is just multiply that. So 1 times 2 gives us 2. 4i times 2 gives us 8i. 1 times minus 3i gives us minus 3i, and plus 4i times minus 3i gives us minus 12i squared. Minus 12i squared is actually plus 12. Okay, when we add 8i and minus 3i, we get 5i. So 2 plus 5i plus 12, that gives us the numerator. We can simplify it down as 14 plus 5i. So we're going to do the same thing now for the denominator. Just watch out here. It was a little it was just written in a slightly tricky way that the imaginary part here is first. It's I plus 6, and the other part of the expression is 1 plus 3i. Just watch out for that sort of stuff there. Okay, that's a 1, and that's an I. Okay. Anyway, so we'll just continue on. I times 1 gives us I. 6 times 1 gives us 6. I times 3i gives us 3i squared, and 6 times 3i gives 18i. And again, 3i squared gives us minus 3. What happens here? I and 18i gives us 19i. So essentially what we do is we work it down and we end up with 3 plus 19i. Okay, good. So this is our expression now. Okay, now that we've simplified it. And what we're going to do is multiply the above and below by the complex conjugate of the denominator. Now the complex conjugate of the denominator is essentially a times a minus ib. So essentially you just change that sign there, okay? So let's multiply above and below. So essentially what we have here is the expression there added into the fraction. So let's look at the numerator here now. So essentially when we multiply a number by its complex conjugate, essentially it's very straightforward calculation. It is a squared plus b squared. Okay, so essentially a here is 3, so 3 squared, and b is 19, so 19 squared. So 3 squared plus 19 squared, that will end up giving us 370 when we get down to it. So essentially what we have to do now is multiply the numerator. Okay, 14 times 3 gives us 42. 5i times 3 gives us 15i. 14 times 19i, gives us 266 times i, minus 266 times i, and plus 5i minus 19i gives us minus 95i squared. And again, of course, that actually will work out to be plus 95. So essentially what we do here is we group up the real numbers, 42, and what this becomes, which is 95. 42 plus 95, and the other terms are the imaginary components are 15 and minus 266. Essentially just group them up there like that. And so 42 plus 95, that gives us 137 over 370. Okay, and 15 minus 266, that actually should give us minus 251 over 370. Okay, and that's essentially the job done. So we'll leave it there.